Hey everyone, welcome back to the final day of the wellness reboot. This is day 3. I'm on the workbook here. If you have not seen the other 2 days, make sure to go back and review those. There's a lot of good information in there. But today for the final day, we're going to be talking about progress roadblocks. So these are 5 common kind of mental barriers that I see with people in their journeys, and we're going to talk about how to overcome them. And I hope you noticed the theme for this challenge was, like I said in the beginning, a deeper dive into the mental work of things. Like, of course, I could give you workouts, I could give you diet plans, but at the end of the day, if your mindset isn't right, none of that's going to work. So we got to kind of do the deep work, the root work, but these are also some more actionable things to do too, and I think some quick wins for you, which is good. And hopefully this is the first step in the right direction for you and uncovering a lot of those behavioral changes for you. Okay, so let's go into the progress roadblocks. First thing we have is all or nothing thinking. I talk about this one a lot, right? The fitness industry is very black and white. It's very like, I didn't run 10 miles today and do a cold plunge, so I guess I'm a loser and I should just eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's. No. So you can see some of the examples I gave here. I ate one unhealthy meal, so I've ruined the entire diet. Might as well just give up. Or I missed my workout today, there's no point in exercising for the rest of the week. I see this all of the time, more than you think, and you may be guilty of it too. And you're not out of the ordinary if this has happened to you. I've actually done it myself. I caught myself thinking these things too. This mindset leads you to believe that if you can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. This only creates discouragement and makes you give up when faced with any setbacks or minor deviations from your health and wellness journey. Okay, so how to blast past this roadblock is practice flexibility and self-compassion. Understand that small setbacks are normal in the fitness journey and don't negate all of your progress. Instead of giving up or dwelling on past choices, focus on making healthier choices moving forward. Don't bully yourself into reinventing your strategy to reach your goals. So this kind of goes back to my mantras that I like to tell myself and I share with you all, which is keep showing up and progress, not perfection. That's in those times where I feel that way, like I might have had a really good day of eating and you had a good workout week and then one day got thrown off and you're like, screw it, I'm done for the rest of the week. I already messed it up. You gotta say, hey, I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing the messy work, messy action, progress, not perfection. And trust me, it's hard. I can't tell you how many times, after being very inconsistent, I've walked into the gym and I felt disgusting because I wasn't at my best. After I've experienced my best of when I've hit my workouts perfectly, and you feel sloppy. Same thing with dieting. You feel gross. At least that's how I feel. I feel gross because I ate a certain way, and you're like, to eat healthy again, you almost feel guilty or shameful, and you just gotta push through it and put in the reps. Keep showing up. Okay, so that's 1. 2, we have instant gratification and shiny object syndrome. Very, very common issue in our society for a lot of things, especially with social media. So some things that we see is, I've been eating healthy for a week. Why haven't I lost 10 pounds already? And I worked out yesterday. Why am I not seeing immediate muscle definition? You got to think of it as a snowball effect, right? You start out small. Or even a better analogy that I've heard before is the paper towel effect. So, you take a sheet of paper towel away from the roll, okay, every day to clean, and the sheet's always the same size, but you never really notice the roll getting smaller until one day it's just really small, right? But you've been kind of constantly picking away at it. That's exactly how our fitness goals work. You constantly pick away, and the first couple weeks, first couple months, you're like, I'm not really seeing any progress. What's going on? And then one day it's like, boom. You notice it. All of the work that you've been doing, it's a compounding effect. You finally notice it. Or saving money, putting money away. Once you start out with a little bit, once you start to compound more and more, the more you have, the bigger your return. And that's exactly how health and fitness works, okay? So you have to keep putting in the reps, knowing that in the future it's going to pay off. Those of you expecting fat loss when you haven't even started a calorie deficit, I'm looking at you. Expecting immediate results and becoming frustrated when progress is slower than anticipated is the fastest way to foster impatience and lead you to abandon healthy habits before they even have a chance to take effect. The human body does not change overnight. There are changes happening on a microscopic level, but obviously we can't see them. So plan to allow for at least 4 to 6 weeks before seeing results from training, dietary, and lifestyle changes. One, you can notice some immediate effects in energy and how you feel. You're going to notice muscle soreness from working harder. Maybe some hunger cues are going to be different, and some things you feel from nutrition. That's why I kind of like to shift the mindset. Let's shift the mindset to focusing on things other than physical progress, shift it to long-term thinking, kind of appreciate where we're at and appreciate what we're going through while looking to the future and being excited for that as well, right? And some other things is setting realistic expectations and learning to play the long game. Recognize that sustainable change takes time, a long time. Break your goals into smaller milestones and celebrate each achievement along the way to maintain momentum. This can help you stay motivated. And think about it. If you want to resort back to the quick fix, where's the quick fix gotten you before? Sure, you'll get instant results, but then you tend to gain the weight back and you're in a crappier place in the long run, right? So it's not worth it. The time is going to pass anyways. You might as well invest that time into doing things the right way, okay? Then we have 3, negative self-talk. I see this one quite a bit. I'm so weak for giving into cravings. I'll never have self-control. I'm just lazy and unmotivated. I'll never be able to stick to a healthy routine. Even just a belief in the fact that you can't do it. Like, you don't have a belief in yourself. So you don't even try, like, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I've been overweight this long, what's the point in trying? Or like, that's not me, I'm never going to be a healthy person, I'm never going to be a fit person, I can never do those things. Such self-limiting beliefs and negative self-talk is huge. It is huge. What you think, that's why I gave you guys the affirmations on day 1, because the thoughts you think and the way you talk to yourself over time tend to become your reality. The more that you say, like, I am capable of doing these things, I am a fit person, I get to work out today, it does take a toll on how you think. It does change the way you think, and you start to believe it. The more things you say, you start to believe it. That goes for the negative, but it also goes for the positive. So engaging in self-criticism, self-doubt, negative self-labeling can sabotage your efforts. This mindset erodes self-confidence and motivation, making it harder to stick to healthy habits in the long term. To blast through this roadblock, challenge and reframe negative thoughts. Replace self-criticism with self-encouragement. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. And with that, I would also say start to flood your life with positive things. Positive podcasts. When I'm in the car driving, when I'm doing dishes, when I'm doing something where I could be listening while I'm doing something else, always listening to podcasts on fitness, motivation, mindset, positive things. What you watch, what you consume when you're on the treadmill, uplifting music, positive videos. Surround yourself with positive people. Cut out the toxic relationships. Make sure that all the energy that you can control that comes into your life is positive and uplifting, including things like this group, the Busy Women Fitness Driven Facebook group. And doing a challenge like this, it surrounds you with positive energy, uplifting energy, and it's going to help in your journey for sure than if you were in a negative mindset, negative environment, okay? 4, comparing yourself to others. Look at how much weight they've lost. I'll never be able to achieve that. They can run a marathon and I struggle with a 5-minute jog. I'm a failure. Or this person, is the same age as me and she looks way better. She looks better than she did in high school, or whatever it may be. And you can even be comparing yourself to the old you that you might not even get back. Like, the high school body you is going to be a different you than you now. You had different hormones, different stage of life. You've went through different things. You're a different person now. So you shouldn't expect to be the same person that you were in high school. I've even noticed, like, from a hormone perspective, I feel like I've filled out, like, curviness-wise, like, my bone structure has changed. I've noticed that in high school, with an exception to, different bodies, like, it seemed like a lot of girls were more straight up and down, lankier, and as we get into our 20s, we tend to kind of become more womanly. And if you give birth or have children, like, it's such a different, like, your body changes. It's been through different things. If you were in accidents, how you've worked out, stress, how you've eaten, what you've done is going to shape your body, and it's going to be different. So constantly comparing yourself to others' progress or appearance feeds feelings of inadequacy or envy. Okay, and this, a big one probably would be your social media feed of who you follow. If you follow a lot of those people who are super shredded, just know a lot of the times they'll cut down, they'll do a really strict diet, almost like a bodybuilder diet, to do a photo shoot. They'll get like thousands of photos done, and then that maybe week that they did that, or a couple days they did that photo shoot, they're going to use those social media pictures for the next couple years, and then they're going to get a new shoot. I know people who do this. Or there's good lighting, there's Photoshop, there are steroids, or if they truly are doing everything the right way, two main things I've seen happen. They're very unhappy with their lives. The most fit I've seen people sometimes is usually when they're the most miserable, and they're just really good at hiding it. Like, oh, I was going through a divorce. I was so stressed. I couldn't eat anything. That's why I stayed so lean. I was at the gym all the time. I didn't, hang out with my friends. The gym was my outlet. I looked really good, but I was absolutely miserable. Or they have good genetics. So, there's a lot of different factors at play. Usually if you're just the average person trying to look great, to look like a magazine cover model, it's very unlikely. So do not compare yourself to those people, because one, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what other help that they have that could be out of your control, and it could not even be real. I mean, nowadays too, they're talking about these AI generated profiles that have millions of followers, and people believe it, and people associate with these AI bots that create these beautiful photos of these beautiful girls that don't even exist. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. That's why it's best to compare yourself to you, because those people don't have the same experience as you, the same genetics, the same conditions, the same thoughts. Just, we're all so different to compare. It's like comparing a flamingo to a peacock, right? Have you ever seen that, where a flamingo and a peacock are both beautiful, but they're so different? Sunsets and stars are beautiful, but so different. And I want you to think of yourself like that. You're beautiful. Whoever else you admire is beautiful. You're just different. There's not one set standard of beauty, and people may try to create it, but it's impossible. Okay, now how to blast this roadblock: stay in your lane, shift your focus inward. And with that too, if anybody gives you bad feelings about yourself, I would suggest muting that account. And even if that's me, I try not to be that type of person, but I could trigger you for some reason. Mute that person for a little bit and see how you feel. And maybe there's a period of time where you'll feel better and you'll be able to unmute them. But I tend to mute people if I just don't want to see their content right now. And it's usually nothing personal, but I just either get tired of seeing that content, something they do triggers me, and it's like a personal thing, and I just need time away, and I just need a little break. Nothing wrong with that. But instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own progress and growth. Honor how far you've come and celebrate all progress, no matter how minimal it may feel. Set up personal milestones or rewards, like taking yourself to the movies or treating yourself to a pedicure. This can help create positive reinforcement. Okay, and then the last roadblock is a fixed mindset. Okay, so this is another big one, and I think one I especially see in people who were overweight at one point, particularly very overweight, and they lost a lot of weight, like 50 to 100 plus pounds. They kind of see themselves as that past person still. They'll see themselves, and they don't really see themselves for the new them, because it's so ingrained in them that they lived in that body and they were that old person. And I think that can translate over to a lot of different things, a different phase in life, a different way of thinking. I've always been overweight, so there's no point in trying to change. I'm not a fitness person. I'm just not cut out for this kind of lifestyle. Believing that your abilities, traits, and health are fixed and unchangeable will limit your willingness to learn, adapt, and grow. It kind of goes back to our all or nothing thinking, right? Like, if you think that you can't, then you're not. You have to have an open mind. You have to believe that you can change. You have to believe that you can be better. And that's when it's going to open the door for growth. Embracing a growth mindset where you see challenges as opportunities for growth can lead to more sustained health and wellness improvements. And that's one of the biggest things that I've seen changed in my own life is reframing things of how, because there's been so many instances in my life, health and fitness, the world, whatever, where you view one thing a certain way and you view it another, and it's amazing how you can view the same thing from a different perspective and it looks so different. A very interesting example of this that maybe you can relate to, I would say, would be maybe being drunk. Okay, have you ever been drunk? Your state is altered and the way you think is altered. Maybe if you've used marijuana or something like that, it's cool if it's not your thing, but like if you've ever had a state where you've been influenced and it's kind of been out of your control. Have you ever been in a situation where you're drunk and then maybe the same situation where you're not? You're going to react to things differently. You're going to see things differently. Maybe you laugh more. Maybe, I know for me, if I have a drink or two, it's like my stress response is gone and I am a lot more confident. I know that's common for a lot of people. Their filters kind of come down and they're more open to thinking, where maybe if you were sober, you'd be thinking a little bit more about what you were saying. You're a little bit more stressed out, but it could be the same exact situation, but you're going to think and react differently. And in a really obscure example kind of way, that's my way of saying that you can reframe your mindset to look at different obstacles. And I love the idea of looking at challenges as an opportunity for growth, because everything that you do, failure or not, you're going to learn something. If you fail, you learned what not to do. You learned something. You got the experience. So if you approach things like that, it's another rep, it's another, thing to do, it's another step towards progress, you're going to be a lot more happy and you're going to be able to achieve a lot more, okay? So cultivate a growth mindset, embrace challenges as setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve. Believe in your ability to develop new skills and make positive changes over time. Recognize that change is possible with effort and dedication. Adopt a failure is feedback mentality instead of failure is a life sentence, because it's not. Right? And if you're struggling with this, something deeper might be going on with you that needs chipped away. We can't always just read these things and be like, I'm cured. You might have this big kind of boulder you got to chip away at to get to the center, to get to the root, and each little thing that you do chips away at it a little bit more. And again, this is deeper mindset work, but my goal for you with this challenge is to gain clarity. Ultimately, I want you to gain clarity and hopefully be like, oh wow, I kind of want a light bulb moment to go off for you and to think, okay, this is what I need to work on now, right? So I hope that this helped. Let me know in the comments, which of these do you feel like resonated most with you? Which of these do you feel like impacts your health and fitness journey the most? I'd love to hear, and we can chat below in the comments. But that's going to be wrapping up the wellness reboot. I'll have a couple posts for you wrapping the challenge up. Feel free to engage. I love when you guys engage and comment and share your thoughts and things like that. But until next time, guys, thank you for joining me, and we'll chat soon. Bye.